blows the final whistle. It's an absolutely wonderful win for the Seagulls.
Nog ver van een risalto.
Turkish, what can I say? Another defeat. That's 3 defeats in a row.
We've scored 45 goals this season, conceded 37. We've got 7 games to play. Last season we conceded 39 at the end. We're on course to concede more than last season. Last season we scored 55. You see us scoring 10 in the last 7, Rob. It's done.
It's over, isn't it? It's never over. It's never over till the fat lady sings.
Look at this guy now.
Wow. What do we have here?
What's going on here?
We want to play these games and play these games. Living in luxury today, yeah? Look at you.
Donny van der Splinter vibes.
Alright, that Thuggery edit was top draw, man. Was top draw.
That was
Don't
one of
mind
my
me,
favorite
man.
ones.
Just got my background. Don't mind me.
The bird poo was the best bit where it just plops into your glass.
Yeah.
My pina colada as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Look at you, Tobs. Smug. It's all mad, man. It's all mad, man. You couldn't capitalize. But listen, first and foremost, people, love for the love. There's 2.2K in the building in the first couple minutes. Show some love to the rest of the man, them. Steve, Cams, GRIZZ, Tobs, and Matisse. Thuggery 2, all channels, links in the description below. Make sure you show some love. And also the official Big 6 channel where shortly there'll be another video coming out. Make sure you're subscribed there. We're close to 13K. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that tonight. And obviously the sponsors, FM London, there's 10% off. What is it? Socks and boxes in the description below. It's the last show for that one before we move on to another offer in the next show. So if you haven't grabbed it already, make sure you use those links below to grab that. You apply the 10% at checkout. If you need the basics, go get the basics through FM London. They're supporting the channel. They're supporting the show. Likewise, you guys. So it makes sense. Link up. There's only really one place to start, the biggest game of the weekend, which was Man City Liverpool. Even though Tobes is there smiling with a fence in his background. Did you just learn how to do that or something?
Nah, bro, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about.
You got such an evil laugh, you know that. I get why he gets you clipped and puts you in the. Remember the hospital one with the clip that he was doing, with you just laughing in the background.
Yeah,
your laugh is mad evil, fam. I'm telling you.
It is what it is. If you're on Twitter, people, and you follow the Big 6 and you follow Tobes and you follow my Twitter handles, then you would have seen the warm up to the main event tonight. And we
Which one's yours? The main account or your actual account?
Don't worry about that.
I get confused.
We're all in, my bro.
They're one and the same, right?
Just know I'm coming into this show 1-0 up. That's all I'm saying. I didn't hear from you again after that last week. I didn't hear from you again, my guy. But yeah. Steve, GRIZZ.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, the big dogs like you guys like to remind us every couple of weeks. Semi-final. Rotated Man City side. 3-0 down half-time. Fought back. I think let's start with Steve.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was. Listen, after WrestleMania Madrid in midweek, we knew that we were gonna have certain men that were carrying, and we know that Pep doesn't like to risk it too much. When the team got announced, yeah, Zinchenko not playing many games, Ake, Fernandinho. You're looking at their side, you're thinking, oh, you know. But then I'm thinking maybe we set up a bit different, try and just shut them out. We didn't. We first half we were awful. Liverpool were brilliant. They absolutely dominated us. First goal, great header. No one even challenged him. Second goal, mate. I don't even like talking about it. Zach Steffen there. He's obviously thinks in his mind he's Edison, but he's not. Liverpool pressed him to death. His arse went. He got caught in two minds. Didn't know what to do. But this is a big thing. What I was trying to tell people, that this is how important Edison is to us as Man City. He's the first cog in the wheel. Liverpool pressed us at the Etihad. And if you watch Edison, when the fullbacks get pressed right into that corner and then they lay it back to Ederson, Ederson's got the ability to dink it over the press, and Manchester City can then counter him. So Liverpool have to watch that. I think Klopp thought, you know what, they're not going to do that today because Zach can't do it. So press him, and they pressed him like mad. Some of the first half, we literally couldn't get out of our half. They pressed us that well. But yeah, we was off the pace, and then 3-0 at half time. You sort of sat there thinking, fucking hell, you know, all we can do here. He's clearly not going to bring any of the big guns on. They're all warming up on the touchline. They look frustrated to death. And at the end of the day, we had to come out and show a little bit of pride. And we came out and did that. We didn't go gung-ho. We'd obviously been stung first half, so we were wary of them. We scored the early one, caught them a little bit cold. And listen, we gave it a good go. That's all we could do. We got one a bit too late. He didn't put anyone on near the end. I thought he should have put a few on near the end and maybe had a goal. But he didn't. And listen, we lost to a better side on the day. We know they're a good side. And to go there with Fernandinho, it was a bit sad for me to watch him because he was so far off it. He literally just went around booting people and kicking people. And it's pretty sad, man, to where it was. But no, there's no complaints from me. Disappointed in the team selection, but you've got to trust your manager. Got to take me off to Liverpool, got the game plan right, pressed us, dominated us. I'm just so glad it wasn't like 5 or 6. And I've just got to address something because, listen, I'm a fair man, right? And people are slating Man City for the booing of the Hillsborough thing, right? And if that happened genuinely, I'd come on here and I'd condemn him because it's disgusting. But what happened there was about 20, 30 young lads underneath the concourse all singing, ballooning, throwing beer about. So when the minute silence has gone off, they're singing City, City, City. They're underneath the concourse coming up the stairs. So then the City fans have ran down and gone, fucking shut up, shut up. They haven't got a clue what's going on, yeah? So then the big argument in the City end erupts. Obviously, then it sounds like everyone's ballooning. Then the Liverpool fans start booing, rightly so. And then it just made a shit show of it, you know what I mean? But then a few of the older boys got these young kids, told them. At the end of the day, I was next to him. They were fucking, didn't know what day it was. I sent a video to AGT and he's got it. I didn't want him to put it out because, you know, it's not like that. But he's seen what happened. And obviously, Man City, we've put reefs down at Anfield. We've done banners in our end, Justice for 96. Man City as a football club has got no reason to boo that at all. They're not like that. And I just didn't like the way the media jumped on it. Instead of focusing about the game and a great Liverpool team that have beat Pep's team and got through to the semi-final, I come out and I'm reading shit about that, which is absolute bollocks. So I just wanted to address that. If Man City, if I saw anything going on there, I'd be the first one coming in and say it was out of order. But 20 young lads does not justify 30,000 other people. You know what I mean? It was respectful. But the football that Liverpool played, it was dangerous. We at the Etihad on the Sunday before, they played similar, but we knew we could get at them. On the Saturday, I didn't think we could get out of our half at some points. I thought we were going to get hammered. So to come out at 3-2, I was relatively happy. But listen, we've lost an FA Cup semi-final. I think it's his 4th one he's lost. And, you know, it is what it is, man. You go down there, you pay your hard-earned money to change the team. But look, I can't moan about it. I've just got to give full credit to Liverpool and full credit to GRIZZ and these boys and move on to the final. The season they're having is great. We've just got to concentrate now on the league and the Champions League.
Yeah, it was in danger at half time. It was in danger of potentially costing you more than just that game. Because if it was any more than 3 and it went on to 5s and 6s and whatnot, it could have a damaging effect to the rest of the season. GRIZZ, obviously the happy man. You're into the final, another final this season. Quadruple still on. As much as you want to play it down, and you
GRIZZ, just before you speak, GRIZZ, people in the comments going, they want to talk about empty seats, yeah? So I'll talk about empty seats. City sent back 4,000 allocation, yeah? As we know, there's no trains, there's no to get there, yeah? People, if I mention the difference between a match-going fan and a foreign fan, all these people in the comments say to me, not everyone's got dough, Steve, not everyone's got dough, we can't all afford to go to the match. But now you're all in the comments calling empty seats. But at the end of the day, we've been to Southampton away, yeah, Palace away, Burnley away, Madrid, Lisbon, all in the space of 5 or 6 weeks. And at the end of the day, mate, if you've got a choice to pay your gas bill or go to the match, you're going to pay your gas bill. So we've been to Wembley 22 times in 10 years. 22 times and sold out 18 times. So, come on. If you want to talk about empty seats, we'll talk about empty seats. You want to talk about
the stats,
football,
eh? That's
football.
I like that. That's
No,
nerd behavior.
If I criticize anyone, I get all these people from all over the world telling me, "Oh, Steve, you're privileged. You do this, you do that." The second they see an empty seat on the TV, they're fucking tweeting about it and having weird seat orgasms and that. At the end of the day,
the train thing in particular is a big thing. The travel restrictions in particular is definitely a big thing.
Do you know my friend got on the coach at 7 a.m. at the Etihad and got to the ground at 2:45 on a coach. The traffic was horrendous. Horrendous.
I can imagine that. It's Steve as well. What you got to take into consideration is it's both Man City and Liverpool fans driving down on the same motorway. And another thing is the price. I didn't really get the need for people to dig out Man City not filling out their allocation for when you've seen the circumstances. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's I ain't got time to talk about empty seats and whatnot. And I mean, I'm a bigger man than that. Yeah. I ain't got time to talk about. And Steve's addressed the booing and all that. Every club has a small section of dickheads. That's all it is. Every club, including ours. So forget all that, man. I'm here to talk about my team and the football. Jurgen Klopp, squad depth, Naby Keita, Thiago, and them, man. I mean, I thought that first 45 minutes, I wasn't at the Etihad game, but Steve says the pace was relentless. And a lot of my friends went and said the pace was mad from both sides. And they said that City started off like a train in that first half, and we couldn't live with them. And all week I was saying in all the shows that I was doing on my channel and for other channels, I was saying, we ain't going to play like that. We ain't going to play like that. Klopp don't let his midfield sleep like that 2 games in a row, regardless of what team they pull out. Yeah, it was a weakened Man City team, but people forget we dropped our golden goal scorer at the moment, Jota. We dropped our better centre-back, Matip, and we dropped our captain. So we rotated as well. We made 3 significant changes to our usual 11, and they were all tactical. They were all tactical changes. He brought in Konate to have more pace at the back, more strength. He brought in Naby Keita to basically not let Silva move, because Silva was the key to their breaking the press in the first game. Silva played in a double pivot alongside Kevin De Bruyne and ran the show in the first game. Jurgen Klopp didn't let him do that. Naby Keita was like a man possessed. Naby Keita was finally came to the party and some, because that was one hell of a performance, because it was hot out there, wasn't it, Stephen? And on Saturday, proper hot. And you know what? Yeah, the energy that Naby Keita put in there was out of this world. He didn't let Bernardo Silva move. And you know, Steve's mentioned Fernandinho going around kicking people. Bernardo Silva ended up doing the same. He was just kicking anyone that was near him.
How did he not get booked?
Yeah, it was mental. Even though we won, Michael Oliver still had, you know, it's not sour grapes now, because when you win, it's not sour grapes. But Michael Oliver had a stinker that game. He just refused to book anyone in anything. But proud of my boys, man. That first half was something else. It was a sight to behold. Because say what you want about this City team, there's a lot of good players in that squad. A lot of expensive players. You're not rotating. You're not taking out Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez and then bringing in Reece Williams or whatever. You're bringing in 40, 50 million pound players. I knew as soon as I saw the team that height would be an issue. I knew if we get set pieces, we're going to bully them on set pieces. And lo and behold, we get that corner in the first 5-6 minutes or whatever it was, 8 minutes. And but yeah, we just didn't let them out. I thought Naby Keita, Luis Diaz, the other change. My God. Luis Diaz, I think you all saw his performance, man. He's something else, and he's only going to get better. He's only been with us 3 months. No coaching, no nothing, no one-to-one coaching yet. Just go and do your thing, bro. Wait until Klopp gets proper hold of him, because we know what Klopp's done to the rest of the players. But yeah, man, that 3-0. I mean, look, the final score was 3-2, and I think Steve will openly admit that flattered them. That wasn't a 3-2 game. They scored right at the start of the first half and right at the end of the game. And the rest of the 75, 80 minutes, we were total dominant. And it was good, man. We're in a good place. I'm not going to lie. It's a good place. I've always said it's going to be a trilogy of games, though, because I genuinely believe we're going to beat them, play them in the Champions League final as well. So yeah, man, I'm just happy to be in another cup final. And you know, we can joke and banter about the quadruple, but I'm gonna keep, as a fan, I'm gonna keep dreaming until I can't dream no more. Until someone stops us, I'm gonna say, yeah, that's the end of that. That's the end. Or if they knock us out of the cup, that's the end of that. But every week we keep talking about it, means we're still in it, and it's a good place to be in, man. It's a good place to be in. Yes, Matisse. What are you saying?
Cams, if you don't mind, I'd like to go first. Yeah. If you don't mind, I'd like to go first. I could cook with this, or I could start whooping asses with this. Yeah. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm hearing a lot of talk right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hearing a lot of bravery and proud of my team for the comeback and all this. But 3-0 down in the first leg. No, sorry, first half. First half.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, first half.
You talking to me?
3-0 down. 3-0 down in the first half against the top team. Where have we seen that before? But a couple of days ago, this whole bravery and pride and coming back and respect. No. That was not good enough for Chelsea against Real Madrid. No. Thomas Tuchel has fumbled the fucking bag. So why am I not hearing
the Champions League, yeah. Champions League, yeah.
Any talk on Pep playing Zac Efron, who couldn't pick between basketball, singing, and football, and now suddenly he's making mistakes trying to be Edison 2.0, and you're 3-0 down against Liverpool at Wembley, the team that we competed with when we played them at Wembley.
What about Brentford?
But Tuchel's a fraud. So listen, I'm not here to cuss Pep. Listen, Pep's a top manager. I just think I'm just seeing a lot of inaccuracy. I'm seeing a lot of inaccuracies in this report. You were 3-0 down. 3-0 down. That's unacceptable. It's not good enough. There's no excuses for that. There's no coming back to be getting the pride and the second half and the kumayatata. No. Let's talk about that first half. That first half was awful. Absolutely dreadful. It was. It's probably the worst I've seen Manchester City. It's the worst I've seen Manchester City probably in a while in that first half. And to be 3-0 down and out of the game, and it could have been even more. Nah, we're not. That's not good enough. So this whole like we're gonna try and dress this up as a 3-2. We didn't want to do that a few days ago. We really didn't. So I'm not hearing none of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 3-2 flat them. 3-2 flat them. 3-2 flat them.
3-2 flat them massively. Yeah, massively.
Cams, I saw you smiling at one point through that. What are you saying?
Hey, listen. You see, when I give props to Luis Diaz, yeah, I get attacked by a million Liverpool fans. But GRIZZ can sit there and say Luis Diaz is this and is that. I told man about who the new franchise player is. It's Luis Diaz. But look, you know what? Today is not going to be about that. You know what? I was getting a lot of DMs today, yeah? People are saying, about one person in this chat. So Turkish, I'm going to need you to come to the stage right now. I'm going to need you to come here. Because I heard, I haven't seen this episode, but I heard you've been talking crazy on Thiago.
Yeah. I knew this was coming. I see it in the chat already.
Listen, Thiago, for me, I said it on Stoppage Time today or yesterday. When you got KDB, who's probably at the top, but Thiago on his best form, they're levels, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
That is an unbelievable player. GRIZZ, you might want to call it a futsal player, but you see that? That's the ultimate futsal player. Him, he is so good. That's a world-class player right there. And Liverpool fans will say it. I'm sure GRIZZ will say it as well.
Sorry, I was going to say. Go on.
Let me clarify my words quickly, yeah, because it's something that needs to be readdressed. Yeah, remember those words, readdressed. Yeah?
You're doing a lot of that these past couple of weeks, aren't you? Re-clarifying your words
over there, man, and make sure there's nothing else in your throat, my guy. You let that
You're always trying to re-clarify your words. Why is that?
Let me talk, fam. Let me talk. All right, cool. With the Thiago thing, yeah. My comment was definitely over, like it was harsh, 100%. I said he's a bigger flop than Grealish. I take that back, 100%. But I still haven't seen the Thiago I know is in there. Like you said, Cams, yeah, there's De Bruyne is levels, but Thiago in his day is that level too. This is definitely a show of his level. Even last week, even though Man City dominated the game, there was bits and moments there where he showed his quality. He needs if he continues doing that and Liverpool win major honours, then he's not a flop. And even the word flop is harsh. I can't lie to you, but he hasn't lived up to his standard he set himself the previous 8 years up until recently, the last couple.
Do you know what it is, Turkish? Do you know what it is? I think I'll quickly say my bit as well, and then you can go as well. Do you know what it is, Turkish? I think you haven't. Please tell me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think you've watched him like enough in his last year or so at Bayern. From his first days, he changed the role he played. He didn't become this number. He started. He used to play as an attacking 8
he took a
or
step
number
back.
10.
He took a step back.
He started playing. He started playing alongside Goretzka in the double pivot, and then he had to change his role at Liverpool as well. But a sign of a great player, an intelligent player, and add to the futsal skills as well is what you're seeing right now. But check this out. I said it, to, guys. Just a funny thing here. I don't know who will remember. Steve will know. Turkish hopefully will know as well what I mean. Don't know if you youngsters will know what I'm talking about, yeah? But you know when we used to play, I don't know what you lot call it up north, but Turkish, you would 100% know. Headers and volleys.
Yeah.
You know 60 seconds, headers and volleys.
Yeah.
You can only see that move for the third goal. That was Thiago 3 steps ahead of everyone else. Everyone else in that move. So people think he got a touch to that ball to put it around the corner. No, he knew exactly what he's doing. Touch around the corner. Then people saying, oh, he knew. Then he flicked it to Trent. Trent played it back to him. And what does he do? Any normal player just passes it out to Sadio Mane. Drifts out wide. He was playing 60 seconds in the FA Cup final.
That's the last 4 seconds.
He looked up at the screen. You see half time. Let's get a third here. 60 seconds. Old school. South American football. He chips it up to Sadio Mane, so Sadio Mane can smash him in the full, on the full volley. Thiago is levels, man. People that forget Turkish, man. Turkish was having a joke, and we would probably hit at the moment. He didn't really mean that. I don't think he meant that. No, I'm bailing him out. I'm being real. I think he got carried away in the moment, and that. He didn't mean that. But pundits and writers that get paid to talk about football were telling us Thiago is slowing Liverpool down. Motherfuckers, did you see him? Did he slow us down, or did he hasten us, quicken us to a 3-0 lead against the best team in Europe, country, wherever? That guy is levels as people.
The ball moves faster than the man.
He plays the game 3 steps ahead of everyone. Of course, he's coming up to 31, 30. He may not have the legs to do some of the stuff that he used to do. I get that. I hear that. But my God, he's elevated us to another level as well, because we used to be a different midfield. All of you, man, know how our midfield used to function. We
rock and roll.
No. Our midfield was functional. Let the forwards and the fullbacks do their thing. Now we're trying to play different. And we showed it against probably the best possession-based team I've seen since Barcelona's Pep, right? Yeah. We showed that we can play that game as well. And it's because of Thiago Alcantara. I'm telling you, man, that was the what's the word? The zenith. He reached
100%.
That was the skill that he was going to bring, though.
That's by far his best performance in a Liverpool shirt so far, right?
I think it helps. I mean, it does help that
maybe
KDB. It helps that KDB, Rodri, Gundogan, maybe you could say, weren't playing.
Yeah.
But it is the first time, as Grizz saying, it's the first time that I've seen a Liverpool team, not even Liverpool team, a Liverpool midfielder actually say, do you know what? If you're going to ball, I'm going to ball. Not no Henderson running around saying, well done to Robertson or good pass and doing nothing and shouting. Actually, someone that's going to get on the ball, pass it about, and actually dictate the game. And his forward passing, and of course the assist that he made for Mane, he's just a top player. And I feel like, I know what you're saying about, at Bayern Munich, he was doing other things and stuff, but coming into a Klopp system, you're going to have to adapt. I feel like Klopp system, we know it was the wide, as Grizz said, the forwards and the fullbacks. But in Liverpool, you're going to have to you're going to have to press, you're going to have to work hard. You can't only just be stylish. And
but
that's one thing I like about Thiago. He shows that side. He shows that side now.
Even his ground jewels and intercepting is not talked about. The way he presses, the way he reads the game is not talked about. People sleeping on that. Check out his stats in terms of pressing actions and reading the game. It's second to
Can
none.
I add to this as well? Obviously, I had to cook Steve a little bit. Try and after last week, but much love. Listen, I had to get involved. But that aside, now if we're analysing this properly, I feel like Pep made a mistake playing Fernandinho. I don't know what was wrong with Rodri, if it was maybe too many games, but Fernandinho in this match, like Steve said earlier, he was just chasing shadows. He was just fouling, and he's really lucky to not get booked. But I feel like Fernandinho is very clever at. He always seems to get away with these things longer than maybe he should. And even like Phil Foden, he was nothing like what I've seen in recent weeks. They were all giving the ball away so much. Yes, they were getting pressed relentlessly, but they were just giving the ball away, passing out of play. It wasn't cohesive. It wasn't smooth at all in that first half. They just could not get out of this Liverpool press. They were suffocated. But I feel like that starts with Fernandinho in the middle. Come on, you're coming up against an energetic Liverpool team who it's a big pitch. They're going to be, this is Liverpool. They always do that. They're going to get in your faces. And to play an aging Fernandinho, we could talk about the goalkeeper. That's obviously a howler. But listen, the midfield for me, I didn't really get playing Fernandinho. I felt like that balance was off. Maybe it's too many games. I don't know.
I don't think he had a choice because of the
the
Royal Rumble on fucking Wednesday night took it out of a few. So he's thinking, I need them for Brighton and Watford in the Premier League to keep that lead. It's a fine margin, because if he would have played De Bruyne and Rodri in there and they'd have got injured, then we've lost them for the league running. Then people would have moaned like mad about the league and said it's only the FA Cup. But at the time, it's not only the FA Cup; it's a semi-final. You need to play it. But we know our mistake. But listen, you've got to give credit to him. The other week we was talking about the midfield battle at the Etihad was going to be key, and we went into this midfield battle with Fernandinho, and it was just like we knew, but you don't want to say it out loud because you want to back your team. But anyone who had a brain knew that Fernandinho, the only way he was going to maybe get at them was to rattle them. But he was literally so off the pace, like you say, he wasn't rattling no one. He was just fouling, so he just got a bit mad, man. I got whiff of the City team. I got whiff of the City team around lunchtime, and I WhatsApp Steve. And Steve goes, "Fuck me, long day." And just between me and Steve, he said, "Fuck me, long day if that's the case." And like, you kind of know, playing. I don't know, someone mad in the midfield.
It's not. Look, it's not. We're not a team to be playing a Carabao Cup squad against. And especially after the way you tore us into us the first half, we were never. And I think that's where Pep, of course, he knows his squad and he knows his state of his players mentally, physically, everything. But I think he was naive to think that you're even gonna try, compete with us the way we're gonna come out. Because I knew we're gonna come out like hungry dogs. I knew we're gonna come out like that, regardless.
We couldn't even get out the first. We couldn't even get out the half at one point. So there was no way of scoring. Do you know what he did me better doing? GRIZZ? Fucking launching it. Just launching it. I know hopefully Sterling can get in and around the back of the centre halves. I know it's sad and it's not the City way, but the way they had us trapped in the corners, there wasn't even an outlet with Stefan, because once he did that howler, every time he got the ball, the Liverpool fans was like, whoa, and he was like,
yeah. We're doing it for the whole game.
His head had gone by then. His head had gone. And, that was Pep's loyalty to Stefan in the cup competitions. You know what I mean? He kicked sticks with the keeper all the way.
But I just want to, before we move on, and that's my final say on the semi-final, Sadio Mane.
Give him his flowers, man.
What a guy.
Give him his flowers.
No. I'm a fair man, Cam. I'm a fair man.
Elite.
And Sadio Mane is having the second part of the season that dreams are made of, starting from AFCON onwards.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is playing like the true king that he is.
King of Africa.
People can't, King of Africa. You can't deny that, man. Listen. You have to understand this guy is still so underrated in Premier League terms. People keep talking about everyone else except Sadio Mane. When it comes to Sadio Mane, people still say, "Yeah, good player." Look what he's won. Look what he's achieved. Non-penalty goals. Stand up his record against most strikers from a wide left position in terms of non-penalty goals. He doesn't take no corners, free kicks. Check out his stats. The guy, and now people talk about playing. People talk about how complex it is playing in a Jurgen Klopp midfield, bro. It's not easy playing as a centre forward in Liverpool system, because Jurgen Klopp has a hobby to play that role. And this guy, for this guy to walk into that number 9 role and make it his own, because he did. Jurgen Klopp picked him for a reason. I can't speak highly enough of him, and I can't smile internally and externally as well when I'm talking about him, because Sadio Mane is truly a king and a warrior.
Mane deserves an apology from Liverpool fans. Let's be real. Mane deserves an apology because going into before the AFCON, when Luis Diaz signed, every single fan, first of all, they were saying Mane is dying down now. He's dead now. Then the AFCON comes, Luis Diaz signs. Everyone was like, bomb. They were doing 11s, Liverpool 11s. Mane was out the team. He was never in that team. It was always Diaz.
You know what
he said, do you know what? I'm gonna take that personally. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna smash your boy in the AFCON first. That's what I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna smash your boy again in the World Cup qualifiers. That's what I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna keep scoring, and I'm gonna be in that 11. Now they all love him again. So he deserves big apology because you see him, he's delivering. Luis Diaz is delivering.
Oh no.
And we won't speak further. Ross. United Liverpool tomorrow, so we won't speak right now. But you know the deal, Grizz. You know the deal.
You're wise. You're sitting in a taxi ready to drive off. You're sitting in a car ready to drive off because you know what's going on. So
look how they're doing me. Look how they're doing me.
You want to relax in that taxi before you turn back. But I agree with you. But that's the modern day fan, isn't it? But that's the modern day fan. The new shiny toy arrives upon the scene, and they think, yeah, you know what, Luis Diaz, we forgot about Sadio Mane. But to the people that were criticizing him, and I was one of them. I'm going to hold my hands up. It's Sadio Mane himself said, I didn't know what the problem was with me. Was it health-wise? Was it internally? Something wasn't right with myself. Sadio Mane has come out and done an interview himself. So it wasn't just disrespecting Sadio. He did have a dip in form or fitness or health, whatever it was, because he did suffer from COVID. So people talk about long COVID. Even this yesterday in the press conference, Jurgen Klopp spoke about Sadio Mane having a dip in performance in terms of his levels, his output. So, but to write him off, and the thing I always go back to, people always say, "Oh, GRIZZ, I was critical because he was at one stage top 5 attackers in world football." So what I said was, in my opinion, he's no longer top 5 attackers in world football. Doesn't mean he's dead. Doesn't mean he's nothing. It just means he's dropped from those elite levels, and that can happen. My brother's back and back with a vengeance and slapping people in the faces if people were saying, get him out. Because I was never saying, get him out. He's done. He's finished. And not only that, he's turned himself into the striker. And I think he's prolonged his Liverpool career. I genuinely do. Because people will tell you, Cam, and guys, people will tell you, Luis Diaz is our first choice left side now. Sadio Mane is king and a Premier League legend. But Luis Diaz has got his role now. So Sadio Mane has taken that personally and said, all right, I'm going to take that central role or become an option. It only bodes well for Liverpool, and that's what we
100%. 100%.
He's elite.
Yeah,
He's
he has
elite.
help.
And I ain't in no Uber, man. I'm in a fake taxi waiting for a blonde from Camden. Trust me, right now. That's what I'm in.
Right, a blonde, yeah? Now you're moving, yeah?
Hey, you know they're the only ones that jump in the fake taxi, man.
Let's look at what the super chats are saying as well, because we're half an hour in. Let me see how many likes are we on. We're on 1,000 likes, people. So love for the love already. I can't lie to you. I didn't need to say it. You got it to 1,000. Let's get it to 2,000 before the show ends. There's 4.5k in the building. Remember, show some love to the sponsor. 10% off. Links in the description below. FM London. They're making it happen for us on the official channel. So show some love. If you need the basics, go through them. Socks, vests, boxers, tracksuits, all of that. Make sure you just click the link and add the 10%. Also, Steve, Cams, Grizz, TOBS, Matisse, and THUGGEry, all their channels in the description below. Make sure you guys are supporting every single one of the members of the Big Six and more. And also the official channel. we're about 300 away from 13K. If we can hit 13K today, then I'll schedule the next top 6 centre mids of the Premier League era in the next 6 days. By the end of this week, people, I'll schedule it in. If you get us to 13K by the end of the show. And before we move on, let's look at the super chat. Shamar says, man like TOBS supported 2 teams and left with 2 L's. We're going to get into that. Rock Nation says, Man City have no fans, hid their spare seats to try and cover it up. Small club got battered by Liverpool, quadruple on. Foden, anonymous again. The scenes if City bottled the Prem and Champions League. Steve, where's the chat about Chelsea now? I thought you said you had squad depth. Chelsea have 2 trophies, but you could end up trophyless. Just remember. And Ollie says, Cam's down bad, scrolling through Tinder. John says, when Klopp and Pep leave, Mikel will take over Turkish. By the way, obviously that clip it speaks for itself. Obviously, Klopp and Pep, they ain't going nowhere. So obviously,
Fence settings, you know, you didn't read the end bit. Fence settings.
I read it. I read it to myself. I said, I'm here, John. I felt privileged to see Thiago in the flesh. Steve waffling. Players were tired. 100 million Jack Grealish, 30 million Jesus, 40 million Ake coming in and being excused. Should have had better scouts, eh? And Sketchy Sketchy Pencil says, what's going on today? Cams is in the McDonald's drive-through, Matisse is in the mansion, and TOBS looks like he's outside my yard. It's peak.
Matisse has already done a few Don Robbie shows. He's got a fucking penthouse. That's what happened when Saeed. Remember when Saeed was on there every week? Saeed had to save
Wait, no, both of you with a green, whatever it's called. Yeah, can you we chat afterwards, please? I need to know what's going on with this background. I need something, man. Fix me up in it.
Save a lot of black.
What's going on, man?
Big up Jachar as well, valuable member of the team. Big up Turkish and the panel, Skull Thuggery, obviously. Yeah, he done me again. That's like 4 weeks in a row. No one can say he doesn't rip Turkish anymore. Remember that old one? Arsenal is the new Villa, Nottingham Forest. Unambitious owner who is clueless about soccer. Average coach and players, sadly, no longer a big team. That's been in the back of my mind for a long time. I can't lie to you. It's the first time someone said it on my channel, but that's the reality, you know. Matisse's attempt at cooking Steve was feeble. Stay in your lane. Third.
Hey, yeah. Listen. I felt like I didn't want to go the full way, but Steve got me some drinks this weekend. We had a nice chat.
Tell him the truth.
Maybe he buttered me up a little bit. I don't know.
Tell him the truth. You know what? Listen, at weekend, because he done the Rickett thing was announced. Matisse was feeling kind of good. Yeah. So I sent him over 25 quid and said, "Get yourself some beers on me." Well done, son. Yeah. What kind of new gremlins? New gremlins. I got him pissed at weekend on me. You know what I mean? I sent him 25 quid, said, "Go have a beer on me, man."
He's a legend for that. So I decided to
Matisse enjoyed.
The gremlins probably don't even know what alcohol are. Like most of them are probably like 12, 13 years old. So yeah.
You can show them with the pina coladas. Don't worry, you'll be demonstrating.
Yeah, you taught them what it is. Anyway, Cyrus says, Cams, could you get me a large Big Mac meal and a Coke? Turkish is 100% bang on, says Aslan. I watch all Liverpool's games and it's very rare that Thiago stands out. This game was an exception and I had him in my top 3 midfielders before joining Liverpool.
Thanks for the super chat.
Up the Chelsea, since Mane's been back from AFCON, he's been a beast. Chelsea need 4 or 5 signings to compete this season, says Micah. Turkish TOBS, New Kendrick. Oh, bruv, don't even say that name on this show. Hello, Steve. And Nathan says, you slated Chelsea when they beat Madrid 3-2, but when you lose to Liverpool, you come out with mad excuses trying to make us feel bad for you. Obviously, that's exactly what Matisse was alluding to earlier. And we are going to move on. We might as well wrap up the other semi-final in Chelsea next. Obviously, getting through to play Liverpool next month, mid-May. So, yeah, Matisse, talk to us.
Palace hype.
What do you mean Palace hype?
Mate.
Listen,
no Palace
man. Palace
people
are a better
team.
team.
People were out.
Palace are basically a better team than you are right now. So I don't know what you're talking about, taxi man.
People did not watch your semis, bro. People were out on my life. People were at DLT. People were at Motive.
That's
semi-final, bro.
Listen.
People were out. I'm telling you.
People were definitely at DLT.
Listen, let me tell you something. People are gonna be out. People are gonna be out too when you're playing. You know, in the Conference League next season against all of these teams that we yeah. So your airtime won't be so strong next season. We all know that.
Not if Arsenal keep letting us back into the race. But
Did
we
you hear
will talk
Channel
about
4?
that soon.
Did you hear Channel 4 got taken by the government? Are you not worried about all this going on right now?
I don't know, mate. Kind of like how Chelsea got taken by the government as well.
There you go. There you go. Listen, we won our game. Do you know what I mean? We did our business. I think first half we were recovering back from that Madrid game physically, I think a little bit, but they stepped it up in the second. He made his changes. He brought on Ruben. Ruben been getting cussed out by Toby. Do you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, he went there in the flesh. He was watching the game because Toby don't get much time at Wembley, you know, with Tottenham. So he thought, let me double down, support the Eagles, you know, maybe bring a little mascot and that. And he still lost. You went there to watch my team beat your second team. How do you feel? Seriously,
You're not my
it's
second
getting a bit embarrassing. Huh?
You're not my second team.
Yeah, it's supporting other London clubs. You're draped in
at your
red and
expense.
blue
Yeah,
scarves.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it 10 times out of 10 times.
Yeah.
In the
This
final,
is how
I'm
desperate
supporting.
you're getting
In
now.
the final,
This is
if
sad.
anyone's a Liverpool fan here, if you get me a ticket, I'm there. Get me a ticket for the final. I'll go.
You sure you won't sell it? You sure you won't sell it? Yeah.
I won't sell
Be
it.
careful.
Anything to get you mudded. Anything to get you property club mudded. I'm for it.
Who got you the ticket, Told? Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense.
This guy.
One week he's saying what he said.
Bro, if I was
next
you,
week he's at the game. Ruben
if I was you, I'd
Loftus-Cheek is coming off the bench.
Because we're going to talk when we get on to Arsenal.
2+2 here,
bro.
This brother brought.
If I was you, I would keep it low. Just keep your head.
I know you didn't go there and bring your Spurs jinx on this Palace team that have been playing good football all season. They've been playing good football. They've been playing all these lovely little attacking players like Alicia and skilling up, man. And as soon as Toby turns up now, they don't know how to attack anymore and they're getting pocketed by Christensen and everything with the positioning when half of his head is in Barcelona. I know you didn't go and jinx that team.
But your star boy Havertz was diving around like
you know what? It's funny you mentioned the star boy Havertz. It's funny because I've been doing a little bit of thinking. You're mentioning star boy Kai Havertz, yeah, but he's in another cup final once again, which you know he's a big game player. So usually he stands up and does it in the big games. Oh, but your brother Harry Kane, has he got as many big moments as Kai Havertz in big moments in cup finals, or is he going missing in Champions League finals when you're talking about Kai Havertz?
Oh, you mean when he's come back from a 6-month layoff?
Because I'm yet to see your star boy do anything in
I don't use the term star boy. It's washed.
Oh, you don't have any star boys. That's why you don't use
No. I don't use the term star boy. I don't use the term star boy. It's only for little prats.
Scarlett and Harry Winks. Scarlett and Harry Winks.
Only little prats and Twitter.
I wouldn't call that a star, bro.
Use the
That's
word
not shining.
star boy.
I don't think
a grown man using the word star boy.
What? Scarlett and Harry Winks.
Is that what you're saying now? Okay, cool.
Got Eric Dyer and them, man. Listen, I don't
just to
think
get this
stars.
right, just to get this, so Matisse, just so I get this straight, yeah.
You went to the game.
Kai Havertz is,
and you watched Kai Havertz go to another
game than Harry Kane. I just want you to say yes.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's
no. He's talking about like facts, like how many moments has Harry Kane had in big games,
I'm asking serious
in big finals, whatever, and Havertz.
How many finals he played in?
Oh, that's
part and parcel of the problem, isn't it, brother?
Anyway, so you watched it live.
Ain't scoring in them either.
Yeah, he did. What are you talking about? Of course he scored.
Which ones?
What do you mean which ones? He's literally scored against his team in a semi. What are you talking about?
What about against Chelsea in the FA Cup and United in the FA Cup?
I literally just said that he scored against Chelsea in the FA Cup in
2017.
In 2017, yes, he scored.
What was the score at the time?
It was 1-0 to Chelsea, and he scored the equaliser. So what's your point now?
Gotta get them over the edge, mate. Gotta get them over the edge.
And then what you mentioned Man United, where again he's rushed back from injury and
injury hype.
What do you mean injury hype? You saw the same Harry Kane against you that season, and he tore you a new arsehole. What are you talking about?
Injury hype, man. Excuses.
And then Cam's for England as well. Long day. But anyway, listen.
Scored in the semis for England.
When the moment matters, it's all long. It's all long anyway.
It's fine.
You know?
It's cool. It's cool.
Certain brothers.
Make your point, Matisse. Make your point.
Yeah, certain brothers don't do that, but it is what it is. So you got to see it live and direct. But like I said, you know, tactical Tuchel, everybody likes to make their jokes. But at the end of the day, Cover goes off injured and Chelsea play completely differently in the second half. He drops Mason Mount, who's been getting a little bit too much disrespect, I think, on this show as well. You know, Mason Mount. Foden didn't quite step up yesterday. Mason Mount did at the semi-final again after Real Madrid. So a little bit of praise for England's talented midfielder, I think, is going amiss. Puts the ball in the back of the net, makes it 2-0. And listen, like I said, you can criticize his overall performance as much as you want over the course of the season. The guy is still turning up in big moments and in big games. You don't get to do what he does at the Bernabeu, do what he does at Wembley by being an average player. So I think that needs to be looked at. A little bit of a VAR check on that. But like I said, Thomas Tuchel, now how many finals is that now? What, six finals, is it? Something like that. Again, the guy is brilliant. And Chelsea, for me, they need to go and beat Liverpool now. All this is why I've not praised Liverpool once since I come on there. I'm not doing this no more. Listen, Grizz, it's been nice, do you know what I'm saying? But it's done. Yeah. Because as far as I'm concerned, we can't be losing no 2 domestic cup finals against Liverpool in one season. And helping them on their merry way to a quadruple. That's not happening. So we need to come into this final now, and we need to avenge what happened in the last game.
I'm gonna get you one. I'm gonna get you one of these.
Bro, please.
It's gonna be a war. It's gonna be. We're gonna go to war because you're right. It's gonna be peak. It's not the final that the neutral probably wanted to see because the game. We know how you're gonna try to strangle the game, like honestly. But at the end of the day, facts are facts, and he's getting you to cup finals. And we've spoken about you're a final at the moment. You're a cup team, and he's proving so. You've struggled in the league. I still don't think it's talked about enough how poor you've been in the league. But in terms of the cup competitions, you've done your job, and he's done well. You can't argue with that. And it's going to be an awkward final for us. You're the one team that sort of has got a way of stopping Liverpool from making chances at free will. Like against City have more possession than us, whatever, and it's a good game, but it's chances both ends. Against you guys, it's a pure strain, tactical strain. Don't get me wrong, you know, we don't make it easy for you either. But as I said, Klopp is a good learner, and he'll have learned from that first final. Even though we didn't beat you in 90 minutes, he'll have learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. You desperately wouldn't want to play us. And I don't think we'd want to play you either, but it is what it is, man. It's going to be a high level intensity game again. Yeah, 100%.
You heard Grizz. A lot of their fans are saying they do want to play you.
Well, we prefer to play Liverpool than Man City.
That's what they're saying.
This season we've got way more opportunities than against Liverpool than against Man City. When we played against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, we had chances galore. Should have beat them in normal time. We played them at Anfield. First half, we had chances galore. We should have put them to the sword. We should have been more than 1-0 up. Then we got on to 10 men. And at Stamford Bridge, I think that's the one time you could say, yeah, Liverpool were better. They went 2-0 up, and then we had to come and claw it back. So for me, you know, against Liverpool this season, we've more than matched them. And if anything, we should have been taking more out of those games than we did. So we definitely feel like Liverpool, the way that they have that high line, they leave opportunities there, and they kind of rely on Alisson a little bit to come and do the 1v1, which he's very good at, make the big saves. But we got quick players that can run in behind. So
what I will say, we lull teams into having that false sense of security that they're having success against us and you're doing well against us, and then we just murder. You understand?
And then the VAR check comes and Lukaku's golden.
Well, unfortunately, I've got the email if you want to appeal VAR and you want to take it out of the game. But it's part and parcel of the game, my brother. And that's why we play that line, because it's all part and parcel of the rules and laws now. If you want to change it, you know, we do a protest if you want. I'll back you in this protest as well.
I'm all protest out, bro.
You know, far out, get some placards, me and you. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's here to stay. And I think Liverpool, Chelsea. Yeah, my one thing about the Liverpool Man City, it was 100% the atmosphere and everything was of a final. I genuinely believe that. No disrespect to Chelsea, but that should have been the final. But bring on Chelsea, it's not a problem as far as I'm concerned. It won't be an entertaining game, I don't think. It will be a tactical, you know, the way you guys set up is going to be very tactical.
You wanted to play City in the final. You might not bored of each other at this point, no?
No, but you know what I mean? It's exciting, and it was a proper, you know, end-to-end game, like 3-2, 2-2, 2-2. My God, that's what football is about, right? Fans, neutrals, everything. Our one's going to be cat and mouse, but yeah, we might bring out a dog.
What's Tuchel's record in the finals with Chelsea?
I think it's 3-3. He's lost.
Which ones are the ones that he won? Champions League?
Yeah, Super Cup, Club World Cup, and then he's lost.
Don't joke with that one, man. Don't joke with that one. What's his record in the other?
Don't disrespect it. When you won it under Ferguson, the goal confetti was out. Yeah.
Yeah. What's his record in the other ones?
I remember when the goal.
What's his record in the other ones?
The goal confetti was out under Ferguson. Let's not forget, right?
Don't joke with that, man. So you lost the FA Cup final.
I know you don't play these competitions no more. Now you want to have.
Hey, I'm just asking questions. Why are they getting defensive? What's his record in the real finals, mate? The ones that you actually got to win multiple games to get to.
Oh, okay. FA Cup we lost to who was it? Leicester. Yeah, and then Liverpool this season, and I think is that all of them?
So yeah, won 1 in 3.
Three. So we've won 3 out of 5. Sorry, this will be the 6th.
Okay, cool. So in the real finals, he's got a losing record.
He's got a better final record than Klopp in his managerial career. So.
Dude, that's something you got to take up with Grizz. I'm just asking. So in the real finals, he's got a losing record. That's what I'm asking.
It's not a losing record, is it, though, Cam? It's a losing record if you want to add some extra bows and strings to it and you want to dress it up.
Uncomfy. It's uncomfy. That's all I got to say.
Oh, it's uncomfy. It may be for you. It's not uncomfy for me. I'm very confident. I would be just as confident as I usually am. I think we've got a top manager. He's gone toe-to-toe with Klopp 3 times. And he's competed every single time. There's not really been anything to split the 2 teams, so it's a very even match going into it. And all 3 games have been entertaining. So I'm very happy with this. No problem around here, bro. You could get into some finals soon, I think.
Hey, United got to some last year and lost them. Don't worry, Ten Hag season.
Oh, 10-10. We're gonna get into it.
We're gonna touch on the United next.
Talk soon.
Didn't you lose the final yesterday?
Yeah.
10-10.
Who lost the final?
10-10.
Oh yeah, did he? Yeah, he did, innit? He did. Like your goal. Like your goal manager. You know what I mean?
No, but I'm not trying to get at him. I'm just saying you're making a point with Matisse and you mentioned 10-10.
I hope not.
We literally just lost the final yesterday.
We don't have another Poch saga on here, Toby. We really.
No, we're not gonna have. We're not gonna have a Poch saga. I'll dust you again, but it's fine.
It'll come with the tears again, maybe. Maybe.
Bro.
We move. We're gonna touch on the Man United next because obviously they've won on the weekend. Arsenal, Tottenham lost. So in a sense, Man United capitalized. We'll see if Cams thinks there's still a chance there for top 4, but let's look at the super chats. Running late tonight, as Steve mentioned, we're still top of the league. He hasn't mentioned it once at all.
Still top of the league. Still top.
There you go. Sorry, let me just save this one here. Palace missed Gallagher. A pity. Mount third in the entire league for goal contributions this year after being vital to a Champions League last year. Most underrated player in Europe after Salah. That's a mad statement. Chiba says Mason Mount is the most disrespected player in the Premier League. 26 goals and assists out of position. Not even his best season.
No, I rate him. I'm a Mason Mount. I'm a fan. Long time. I'm one of those people that rate him. But the other guy, Loftus, you know what I mean? Whatever. Lotus Biscuit, wherever.
We're coming with disrespect. Imagine.
There's no respect for him. There's no respect for him. Grown up man like him still talking about it. Because he's not. He's like, you guys overhyping.
Oh, it's funny because when we talk about Keita, I talk about the injuries, right, that he's had, and I say, do you know what? Fair enough. But when it's Loftus Cheek now, has he not had a career-ending injury, Grizz? Does that not come into play when you're a ball-carrying midfielder who dribbles and you use your legs and your strength? Come on.
But what I will say is Naby Keita, when he plays, stands out. Loftus
Cheek's not a starter for us, Grizz.
They both got injuries situations. I agree. But what I always say is Naby Keita he plays very well. The frustration lies with his injury issues and the amount of games he misses. Loftus-Cheek scored against Crystal Palace. Fair enough. If that's his level and that's the height of his career, so fair enough.
Well,
but we want Mason.
He's not a consistent starter, so this is not really even a fair comparison.
But it started off me showing respect to Mason Mount.
I think if you watch football, and I know you're a football man, So I'm applying this now to your football, man. I would think that when you watch Loftus-Cheek in that game and you see what he can do, you know he has a lot. He has a lot to give to the game. I don't think you could just write off a player like that and say that he hasn't. Now, listen, yes, he's 26. He should be doing a lot more, 100%. His future is still up in the air because if we don't switch to a three-man midfield, is there really any need for him? However, listen.
But I want to ask you, and I don't know how I feel about this, and so I wanted like the brothers we talk about it, so how we feel. But like Gallagher not being allowed to play in the semi-final like that, what do you think?
That's the terms and conditions. That's the terms and conditions. You've got to read the fine print.
Why would Chelsea want a player who can hurt them? That's their player starting the game.
Why would they send him out in the first place if he's such a baller?
Because Crystal Palace wanted him.
Because they want to give him experience.
Of course, everyone wants to, but let him play the experience, the biggest game.
Absolutely not. No, because that's detrimental to us. Gallagher's been key against Man City there. He had Tottenham in the double win.
See, that's where Klopp's a bad man. He let everyone play against him. I can't remember who
that's
it was.
That's because he's too nice, and that's why he hasn't won as many trophies maybe as he should have, because he's too nice.
Nah, that's why he's a bad man. He's
too nice.
Champions League, Premier League done.
Yeah, but he could have won more. He could have won more cups if he wasn't.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, man.
Yeah, could have won more cups, bro.
Man management.
I shouldn't be hearing.
Coaching.
I shouldn't be hearing the Carabao Cup a couple months ago is Klopp's first domestic cup in England. I shouldn't be hearing.
Because you know, big dogs don't mess with domestics, man. We're international. We're international.
You sound like football right now.
We're an institution, man. Champions Leagues, man. That's what we're about.
Let's get back into the
I just thought it's a little bit. I think Kevin Gallagher, man, that's like a once in a lifetime because I don't know.
No, it's not, bro.
Go back to Chelsea.
He's gonna play next season at Chelsea. Gonna play Wembley again. It's fine. He'll be fine, man. Just a little sit on the side, face the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. I liked it, man. I thought it was a bit cold.
Last time Toby had tickets for a Liverpool final, he sold them. Why is the
You said that? You said that?
Don't worry, man. Let it run, man.
Who does he support?
What I tell you about you and Steve replying to everyone? Shut up, man. Let it run.
No. Fine.
Why does the Croydon Lukaku have so much chat? His team is dead. Spurs only know how to play counter-attacking football. That's all, no other plan.
Again. Fine, whatever.
Kane Euro 2016.
Chelsea virgin cunt.
No.
Oh my days.
What man can attack me and I can't attack them.
Why did you have to say the C word, man?
Give it him, Toby. Give it him.
I'm sorry. I'm not standing for this. You can't cuss me and then I should just.
It's only 10 o'clock.
No, but you can't say all right then and act like it's all blessed and then a second later.
That's what it gets.
It's only 10
Spending the
o'clock,
money to insult me, I'll insult you back for free. Simple.
I'm mad, man. It's mad in the dunya, man.
What's this, man? You're very bold, man.
It's mad in the dunya, man.
Barcelona have lost the game. Some caddy. Golf caddy, what? Who they lost to? I don't know.
I can't believe how rattled you are.
That'll teach him.
Barcelona lost the game.
Nah.
I can't believe how rattled this brother is.
Nah. It's not even rattling. That will teach him.
Cussing
Let it be a lesson. Let it be a lesson to the rest of the virgins. You cuss me, I'm gonna cuss you back. Simple.
That ain't gonna work, Toby.
Yeah,
I'll try.
You've set them off. All right, cool. We'll see. Once again, James had Zaha and Eze run into the right flanks to try and create. Also pocketed Vinicius. Can't really say the same for Trent.
What?
Man said Zac Efron, you know.
Dickhead.
And after Chelsea said we need to smash Arsenal, make them cry. Grill these North London clubs. Brighton rule North London. Ten Hag is a Guardiola from Wish. Man United are still shit. And Kevin says, I say we moved to Arsenal, Spurs. They lost. Well, obviously, we'll end with that. You know, we're still going to touch in on it 100%. But let's just touch in on United because then we can get some predictions in terms of the Liverpool United game. Cams, you guys are the only winners from the weekend. Is top four still a possibility for you?
Hey, I didn't think it was, but these bozos keep letting us back in. I mean, after losing to Everton, you would think, it's over. And then Spurs go and say, do you know what? Hold that, have that. There's the 3 points. Same thing with Arsenal. We'll get into you guys, but damn, like it might be. But to be honest, United will lose tomorrow most likely. And to look at the way they had to struggle to beat Norwich, they need a Ronaldo hat trick. And it's not like, yeah, it's a great little win. It's like he had to bail. He had to bail us out with that hat trick. So to let Norwich come back with 2 goals, it just explains where Man United are. So I wouldn't I wouldn't tell any United fan to get too excited about that, because what Man United have shown is that they're so inconsistent, and it will continue again and again and again. Listen, until it's 37 games into the season, I'm not going to say United are 3 points clear or whatever. I'm not going to say Man United are going to get top 4, because they're just far, far too inconsistent. And quick one, just condolences to Cristiano and his family as well. That is devastating news. I mean, that's heartbreaking for what happened to obviously his child. And obviously that might affect United tomorrow. I mean, United really and truly, I know how Cristiano Ronaldo is. He will probably out here be saying, I want to play, but I don't think somebody should be playing in that situation. If Man United are responsible, they should be saying, listen, mate, have as much time off as you need, because that is devastating. So going into the game tomorrow, Anfield, 8 o'clock kickoff, is it? Is it 8 o'clock kickoff under the lights?
Yeah.
Safe. That is gonna get smoky in my opinion. So if I was United fans, I mean United fans shouldn't get their hopes up.
See what he said. See what he said. If I was a United fan.
If I was a United fan.
This guy's I'm a razor blade in it. I don't miss nothing, man. If I was a United
Cam thinks he's smart, man. Cam thinks he's smart. He disassociates himself. When it's time, he disassociates himself. But when it's back in, silence and all of that.
Wow.
Hey, it's freelancing now. But let's give flowers to Cristiano though, man. Come on, 15 goals in the Premier League. Yeah, 2 goals behind Son, who's in his prime. 5 goals behind Salah, who's in his prime. 2 less penalty goals. 3 games less than the both of them. More goals than Harry Kane in his prime. More goals than Lukaku in his prime. I mean, we've got to give him some flowers. I know he hasn't scored against the Liverpool, the Chelsea. He scored against Arsenal, Spurs, who are around United's level, but he hasn't scored against Chelsea, City, and Liverpool, who are much better than United. I get it. So people be like, oh, what about his big 4 record, top 4 record? But I mean, at 37 years of age, man, to potentially end with 20 league goals, that is incredible, man. It's incredible. And it feels like a crime nowadays to give Ronaldo a little bit of credit. You say something about Ronaldo and it's all of a sudden it's like you're saying the world's worst opinion. Do you know what I mean? And bro, he's scoring goals at the end of the day, man. And you got to give him the credit, because those 2 hat-tricks that he scored, they were match winners. They weren't no stat padding goals. I mean, Norwich, you might say is stat padding, but United were down in the dumps. Spurs.
We're stat padding. Please.
It's what?
It's stat padding, pure stat padding. I mean, look, tonight's not the night to speak on Ronaldo, so I'm not going to say too much, but that's stat padding. So first and foremost, obviously, condolences and prayers to his family and that. So, but you know what I mean? It's a sensitive topic to talk about Ronaldo, but maybe we can talk next week, you know what I mean, about Ronaldo's stat padding, man.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be playing.
Ain't that's Set Man's favorite opponent as well, but we won't speak on that. But I listen, you got to give him his credit, man. You got GRIZZ. You can't give.
Can I just say something to respond to that?
His credit is he's one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. What more do you want to say after that?
I think you do have to give him credit.
No, do you give him his credit for what he's doing so far for United?
Yes, the hat trick is against a team that, listen, Manchester United should be put into the sword. But it wasn't a 6-0, a 7-0. It wasn't a free-for-all. It was a definitive hat-trick. So his team clearly didn't get over the line without him. Do you know what I'm saying? That's my point, is he's made the difference. So yes, he's scoring the goals, but it's not like as if it's simple, the 5th goal in a 6-0. It's not like that for me is stat padding. When your team is already playing at the optimum level and you're just finishing chances now and just getting tap-ins and living life. When you're scoring goals that nobody else is going to look to score and you're scoring a winner in a game, yes, they should be winning, but I mean, Bruno Fernandes, you want to talk about Portuguese players not turning up, right?
My Lord.
Let me not get into this, right? Because I want to focus on the positives, but my Lord have mercy, yeah? Brother is so overrated. I've been telling you lot for the longest on this channel, talking about this guy with his statistics and he's doing this and winning this match of
He had a car crash last night. Bro,
I was the driver. Who do you think was driving? Who do you think he crashed into?
Listen, I'm telling you,
Certain
yeah.
mans were asking was Ollie at the wheel.
Because now I'm talking about stat padding, and if you're talking about stat padding, that's a brother right there that's made his damn career at Man United of stat padding. Because when the definitive big moments come up, he don't show up, and when his team really, really need him, he ain't showing up. And that's someone in his prime that's meant to be winning awards, then this, that, and the third. One of the best midfielders we've ever seen, best player in the world. Say he told me, rare tear, tear, tear. Okay, but then why can't you help out Ronaldo then at 37, who needs a little bit of help on a game against Norwich at home? It's not.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. It was so obvious. Like, you know, a lot of people blame Ronaldo for what's happened at Man United and stuff, because it's easy to say, you know, bring in a big guy like Ronaldo, United fall off, and it's easy to say it's Ronaldo, but no one was gonna factor in that. Where's Cavani been all season? 1 second he's fit, next second he's not. No one expected the situation with Mason Greenwood. Rashford came back after surgery and looks the worst player I've ever seen in my life. Martial got loaned out. Bruno's the one person that I would say I knew once Ronaldo comes in, it's going to affect him. Not to say that he was amazing before that anyway, because I've always had my issues with Bruno, but it was clear to see the team play to Bruno. Most of our passes go to Bruno. 40% of our passes in the final third used to go to Bruno. That's too much. That is over-reliance on a player. So as soon as someone like Ronaldo comes in, where instead of passing it to Bruno, you're looking to maybe cross it or whatever, he starts getting taken out of the game. And one thing we know about Bruno is he's not really a centre midfielder. The guy was running around as a second striker, fake number 9, acting like a centre mid. Now you're basically saying to him, yo, can you please play like a centre midfielder and actually be a playmaker and get the ball off the back four and actually play? He looks like a deer in headlights, mate. He doesn't know what's going on. And the fact that Man United gave him 5 years, 290k, you won't prosper that way, man. Honestly, they'll never prosper, bro.
290k, that's a lot of money.
290k.
That's mad. That's mad. And also, you know what? I have to get this in right now because otherwise I'm going to forget. Man United fans booing Pogba. Absolute disgrace. Yeah. Because this guy has been burgled. This guy has had his own problems. But it's okay to boo him. And you see the double standards in this country. Harry Maguire, statements are coming out. Theses are coming out. As Toby would say, I like to write on Twitter. The Harry Potter books are all over the shop. But then when it comes to Pogba now, getting booed by his own fans, there's nothing to be said. The guy has, listen, whether you think he's been performing to the level or not, it's just the double standards for me that I can't be taking. It's long. So
and me who don't rate Pogba as a player, 100% backs that. That is absolute scandalous, ridiculous, embarrassing, shameful. That no one, the double standards that you talk about. Harry Maguire gets booed, and look how the country, the prime minister, president, every man them comes to the balcony and does a speech for him. And for Pogba, it's just brushing the carpet, everything's normal. Yeah, Pogba has been a disappointment for his team. No one's speaking on it.
You know what? For me,
scandalous.
It's worse because they weren't booing him. Booing is one thing. I personally don't think it's wrong to boo. That's just you voicing your disappointment. They were actually chanting "fuck off, Pogba." That's a whole different thing. That's way worse. It's not.
I heard he was like Man United's second best player.
A couple of years ago, last game of the season, he did a lap of honour, and his own supporters were telling him to fuck off. Then, so this is not new for him. It's not new for him. This.
It's an agenda, innit? It's an agenda at the end of the day. Like I was the same in the Maguire situation. Like if you're gonna, for me, United fans shouldn't be booing. If you're gonna boo, please boo every single player on the pitch, because I don't care how bad Maguire's been, McTominay is just as bad. I don't care how bad Lindelof is, De Gea is just as bad. I don't care how bad Pogba is, Bruno is just as bad. So to actually individually dig someone out, that's just simply an agenda. It's as simple as that, innit? And it is what it is. He's going to leave, innit?
I don't think you should ever boo your own player when they're wearing your shirt. That's just me. I don't think that you can criticise him on social media, say you don't rate him, but booing in the stadium, that's when you know your club is in the mud, when your stadium's booing your own. 100%. When Man City were getting beat off Stockport in the second division, and some of our fans were singing "You're not fit to wear the shirt" rather than boo, because booing, I think, is fucking the lowest of the low, man. But I mean, and especially a team like Man United to be booing. I mean, but I don't know. Some of these people, someone said to me, you get a lot of these, like at United, you get a lot of these like tourist fans who expect to be entertained, and if they don't get entertained, when they're coming off the pitch, they don't get a shirt, the booing and all that. But I just don't agree with it. I mean, Saeed's had some pretty strong things to say with it, and like you say, Man United is statement FC at the minute.
That's what
you
I'm
only have
saying.
to fart. If you fart at Man United now, there's a statement about farting an hour later. So,
But
people are statement there about Pogba, in it, saying you shouldn't be booing. You shouldn't be booing your own players, innit? It's disgusting, man.
Like I said, it wasn't booing. It's telling him to fuck off and then chanting his name. And my thing is as well, people are missing the point. Some people are missing the point in the chat. I'm not saying that his performances don't warrant booing or you don't have to rate him. I didn't say he played well, but when I'm when I'm seeing Manchester United, Tottenham, Harry Kane, Declan Rice, Marcus Rashford releasing statements on Maguire, and then there's nothing for Pogba. Please explain to me why that is. I want a proper answer.
The thing is, though, with that, Jordan Henderson kind of set pace. It actually seems that Henderson was genuinely pissed off about that Maguire situation, did his thing, and everyone's like, oh, a quick PR like opportunity, we'll jump on too. So in that respect, what player, who's Pogba's boys in that changing room? How come you guys don't come out? Why don't one of you lot come out and say this is disgusting, or whoever
Why
he
doesn't
sees
Harry
as friends?
Maguire come out? Why doesn't Harry Maguire?
There we
come
go.
out? He's a captain.
There we go. Exactly. So, hey, uncomfortable conversations, innit?
We know what it is. We know what it is.
Facts.
You know, there's no answers to these questions because we know what it is.
Mhm.
You know, but it is what it is as well at the same time, because it doesn't seem like anyone that has the ability to have an effect or impact on it really cares enough to have that said impact. And it's not just a football problem; it stems from the world and the way it is. I can't lie to you. So I don't see no end in sight for it. As much as people want to, think there's an end to this, I don't believe there is at this moment in time. It's crazy to say, but
if we're keeping it a buck, Pogba does his hair differently, and listen. We all know where it is. I'm sick and tired of people trying to pretend like as if they don't know what the reason is. The guy is too flamboyant for people to handle. They don't like the fact that he has a little bit of expression to him. They don't like the fact that he has interest. The brother behaves himself. You don't see him in no controversy, no problems. He don't party, he don't drink, and the guy still, for some reason, is picked on in the media constantly, when Cams has rightly just said it's an entire Manchester United team now underperforming. Manchester United fans are simply taking their frustration out for their shit season on a player that's been injured for half of it. They're not looking at all of their other golden boys and all of their captain and all of their other guys that they're meant to be relying upon that have been playing games. They're just scapegoating. That's all they're doing, is scapegoating. Because like Cam said, if you're going to boo and you're going to show disdain, show it for the whole team, because they've all been crap this season. They've all underperformed.
A lot of them been worse than Pogba as well. A lot of them have been worse
why
than
are you
Pogba.
picking out one player and trying to act like as if this is the guy because he's leaving? Nah, man, trying to do too much.
But like Turkey said, we know what it is, man. We know what it is.
Exactly. And even if we have that debate on a separate show, that show could go on forever, because like I said, there's no end to this, in my opinion. But let's see what the super chats are saying. Big up Big Six Bands. Who's this? Monts, yeah? Yeah, Monts, I see at the end. Cam's Ronaldo deserves his flowers, but he's scoring in bunches. I remember Lukaku doing the same, yet he was ridiculed. Condolences, though, and big up. And also disgrace for talking to Battle of the Bone. These Liverpool fans, short memories, my guy, short memories. But we'll see if you get back to the standards anyway. There's only one Bruno in the Prem, and that's Bruno Guimaraes, says Joe Linton. The best Bruno in the league. And
what a signing, though. Shout out to Bruno Guimaraes. What a signing.
So far, so good.
Baller, man.
Top show as usual, guys, says Ryan. Arsenal, Man United, and Spurs are so inconsistent, it's a joke. It's like no one wants fourth. United and Arsenal are both losing this week, so the points tally will still be 54 points for both, in my opinion. I think that was the super chats there. Saeed has predicted a 3-0 Liverpool win to kick things off. Cams, what do you think?
I don't even know, bro. I can see Liverpool scoring about 3-4 goals as well, I'm just gonna say 4. I'm gonna say 4-1.
4-1. You'd be a nice
4-1. Yeah.
4-1. Grizz.
3-1.
3-1.
And I expect a Salah brace as well.
Say no more. Let me put that next to it.
I think that would happen.
You're just getting there in there early, so when it happens, you know GRIZZ is going to come with the whole...
United tax. It doesn't, you know what I mean?
If it happens, we're going to have a celebration on Thursday.
Celebration.
Celebration. This guy.
So GRIZZ, you went 3-1, yeah? TOBS?
2-0.
2-0. Matisse?
Yeah, Liverpool. Liverpool 4-1.
Bamba.
4-1. I've gone 3-1. Steve?
Bamba, you said.
Pardon?
6-0.
That second response was class. I said, you heard me.
Separated at 6-0.
Stone cold.
Damn.
No. If he gets that right, he deserves double points. But
Wait, I'm gonna give up.
You didn't hear that from me.
Right, if he gets that right, I'm gonna give him my points.
Wow. Yeah, but you're bottom of the league, innit now? So you don't even mind.
I'll do it. I'll give him my points.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you, GRIZZ. Yeah, I was keeping an eye on the table, and I was like, "Shit, GRIZZ got more points than me." And I was shitting myself on Twitch for like 10 minutes, and I seen the league. I was like, "I don't matter."
Before we move, might as well do Man City Brighton as well, Steve.
It'll be 2-0, sir.
2-0 City. Saeed. Oh,
no,
shit.
Ask him. Do you want me to ask
Saeed
him?
said... Bro, because I got Saeed's name written down here. Yeah, I looked at he's predicted 2-0 as well. Cams.
What game is this?
City Brighton.
Oh, is that Etihad?
Yeah.
Brighton, their luck's gonna run out this time. It's gonna be 4-1 City.
4-1.
Actually, 4-0. 4-0. City are gonna be pissed. They're coming for them.
Cool. GRIZZ.
Is any news on KD? No, KDB's back. Carl Walker, Steve.
He won't play now. He's got a foot in the boot.
Definitely out, yeah. I'm saying 3-0 Brighton. City.
I thought you just was like, yeah, I'm happy.
No. 3-0 City.
Oh.
2-0 City.
2-0 City. Matisse.
What's a 2-0, man? You don't believe they're gonna only win 2-0.
Leave a minute. I think City are definitely going to respond with anger. Basuma suspended. Oh Lord, that's not helpful. Let's go 4-0 City.
4-0, yeah?
Yeah.
I've gone 3-1 again for that one.
Turkey's doing the old 3-1 trick, man. One's gonna come through.
Yeah, trying to get one.
It's that time. It's that time. But listen, they sound like 3-1s, you know, every single one of them. But listen, let's move on. Last two teams to talk about, I believe.
I'm not sure about the amount of time that's been allocated for this cooking.
The tactics of the host.
Turkish, I don't know about all this, you know. I can't lie. What's happened here with the time? We need Fergie time now, because look what's happened here now.
Bro,
I feel like we need to select.
My son's crying in the other room. I've got a dip in about 3 minutes. I can't lie to you.
He's crying because you're talking about Arsenal.
He's looking the highlights from the other day. Listen, TOBS. Let's start with you, because obviously.
Why would we start with us? You've lost.
Let's start Arsenal. I
think we've not started with Arsenal. 3 defeats in a row.
And you want to start with Spurs?
Yeah, 3 defeats in a row as opposed to 1 in 5. 1 in 5 for Tottenham. 3 in a row for Arsenal now.
This guy's funny.
Especially when we've got some big Arteta fans on this show. 3 defeats in a row. Let's talk about it. You got big games coming up. You got Chelsea. You got West Ham.
United are then there as well.
Man United, 3 defeats in a row.
Looking big.
3 defeats in a row against mid-table teams.
Turkish, how does it feel, that the manager that you guys ran out of the Emirates, I don't know, you might have been one of the people out there protesting. I don't actually know. I got to check the tapes. But one of the people that were protesting for Emery out, you know, your players are so good. They're such great players that they had the cheek to mock Emery's the way he speaks and good evening and that, because they've all made it and they're top players. They were mocking him. He's gone and he's in the Champions League semi-final. He won the Europa League last year, beating Arsenal on the way as well. This is the guy that Arsenal ran out of here, and you still haven't bettered his league position. You guys haven't really done much since. Or you won the little FA Cup that he set up for Arteta anyway. So what is your feelings towards that? Because in my opinion, that looks like a howler of a decision. Very, very, very bad decision, bro. That's like when Chelsea sell like Salah and KDB, and then they come and become these top players. You lot are getting rid of Emery, who's 2 times the manager of Arteta. He's got 4 Europa Leagues under his belt. He's in the Champions League semi-final. I think that's a shocking decision, mate. What do you think about that?
This guy thinks he's on goal.com about what do you think about
Yo!
Nah, listen, you know what it is with Emery? Yeah? Emery's listen, I agree with everything you said. But the only thing I disagree with is that it was his time to go because he had lost it at the end. It's just that we replaced him with someone that was never a manager. And when you look back, it looks silly because of where Unai Emery's taking Villarreal, isn't it? In between those times, we've won an FA Cup, they've won a Europa League. They're in a Champions League semi-final, but at the same time, their league form is pretty much similar to what we are doing over here in terms of 6th to 8th, and it has been since he's come in. So 100%. As much as, you know, on paper you look at it, Emery is definitely a better manager, and definitely in cup competitions we would have done a lot better under Emery than Arteta. But it was his time to go, bro. It's just that we didn't replace him adequately. You're right with the whole mocking of the language and people doubting him being able to get across his ways and tactics and siding with players that have let us down in the past. That was a big thing for me. The problem with me and the problem with, you see TOBS, yeah, and he says I'm sitting on the fence a lot with Arteta and whatnot. It's funny to me because I've got people ripping me because apparently I love Arteta. On the same day, I've got people ripping me because apparently I hate Arteta, and then I've now got people saying I sit on the fence. So I've got all types of angles. The only reason is because I try and stay balanced on it. Reason being, every time you get a new manager, and Cams, you'll know this from United as well. You know the core problem at United is the ownership. But every time you get a manager, the ownership matter goes to the back of people's minds, and it's like a clean slate for them. And then you go through something else, it doesn't work, and you look back and you're 2 years older, 3 years older, 5 years older, 6 years, 9 years, 10 years, and you think, how many times am I going to clean this slate? Am I happy with Mikel? No. Do I think Mikel can win us the league title? No. But at the same time, I know if he gets sacked, he gets moved on, which if we don't get top 5 at the end of the season and the way it's going with the capitulation, I agree with, it's going to be another clean slate for the real problem at the club. So you're right with the Emery thing. But at the same time, you know he had to go at that stage because it was awful. It was awful form.
What about, obviously, you know, Arsenal, the fans, I'm not sure about you as well, but the fans, they've been talking, you know, they've been hyping up the young core, you know, the young front line. Yeah. I thought they had MSN, you know what I mean, with Martinelli, ESR, Saka, and Odegaard. I thought it was an MSN caliber type of attack, the way Arsenal fans were talking. But Saka, it's the crunch time now. He's not delivering. As I said, Arsenal are desperately looking for somebody that can attack down the left-hand side from left back. And I think maybe, you know what I'm saying, let me not get too far into that. But you got Martinelli. Thank you to Fuad. 1 goal, 1 assist in his last 15 games. After that little purple patch and everyone was talking as if he's Brazil's new savior. I thought R9 was reincarnated or something. 1 in his last 15. You look at ESR not contributing anymore since he's not jumping off the bench. Odegaard is kind of fizzled out. In this moment where Arsenal haven't got goals, I keep having to say it. Arteta decided I'm gonna butt heads with Mr. Goal Scorer, a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, Aubameyang, who's gone off 10 goals in his 15 games in Spain. You guys have got no goals in the team. Arteta's going to have to live by these decisions. And Arsenal fans can say, oh, well, Aubameyang this, Aubameyang that, and this and that and this. But there's too many excuses being made. You get rid of a player like that and you don't get top 4,
Listen,
the board will have to look at him.
100%, I'm holding Arteta accountable for a lot of things that's happening right now. Because in January, I said it on my interview, the Arsenal fans will know what I said. In January, the first week, he said, in order to compete in the Premier League at the top level, you have to maximize every window, right? He said that. And then a week into February, he said, Edu done a fantastic job in that window. For me, that's contradictory because you haven't maximized the window because you've actually weakened an already thin squad and you've lost out on some quality there, albeit, out of form and maybe out of favor. I used Tevez at City. I think someone used that as an example for me, and I'll use it as an example, saying there was problems there. They all sat down and said, see out the rest of the season. He came back and he done his little bit. He saw out the rest of the season, then he was sold. With Arteta, it seems like, if you cross that line, it's done. And I gave him credit for Ozil because I think it was done with Ozil. I didn't give him credit for Guendouzi, but I understood a young player trying to kind of puff out his chest and maybe not apologize for his wrongs. And you've just come in as a young manager. I get you're trying to, put your authority down and whatever. So I understand that. But when these decisions start, kind of the light shines on them in a crucial stage like this, because Lokonga comes in and some people say he's not ready. Some people say he's scared. Some people say he lacks the quality. I'll tell you what, Guendouzi didn't lack any of those things because Guendouzi would thrive under pressure. We saw it already. I'm not saying he's the answer, but what I'm saying is as much as I've given credit for some decisions Arteta's made, a lot of them are coming back round to bite him now, in my opinion. So I hold him accountable fully. But Cams, like I said, I try and avoid this in and out thing because I'm tired of all that. As an Arsenal fan, I'm tired of ins, outs and all of that because the reality is it's never really focused on the right place. Only when the Super League happens, and then it was. And in that moment, I was in my element because I thought we was actually going to build on that and start applying some real pressure. But this season, again, there's been a lot of excuses. There's been a lot of, there's been a lot of standards being kept below the required level. It's a young side. I know it's a young side, but why is it a young side? Because they've decided to go with a young side. Is it the first time they've gone with a young side? No. So why don't we learn off our mistakes as a fan base and maybe still put the pressure on in January instead? Because we're not all the same. Arsenal fans are not all the same. United, Saeed's not like you, Cams, in terms of a Man United fan. And likewise with all the other replacements we have and substitutions we have on this channel. So for me, I'm not surprised by this. I rode a little wave from February to April because that wave consisted of not only Arsenal winning games, but it consisted of Tottenham fucking about against teams I couldn't believe it, and Man United fucking about. So I thought, hold on, it looks like the chips are falling in place. I don't think anyone really deserves fourth in Champions League football, but someone will fall into that place. It wasn't to be. But if we go and sack manager in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 6 weeks, and a new manager comes in, I guarantee 18 months down the line, maybe 24 months down the line, we'll have the same conversation because there'll come a point where a January window happens or a lack of reinforcement happens. And it's the same shit over and over again. So for me, am I happy with Arteta? No. Do I think he's going to bring us to the glory days? No. Do I think sacking him is the answer? Funnily enough, no. Do I think sacking him will give us maybe a better chance at better football or challenging a bit more for top four? Yes. Is that what I want? No. I want to fucking look. Arteta's telling us himself, fourth is the success this season. If I finish fifth, sixth from below, it's not success. But he's also saying we're looking at 1, 2, 3. So Arsenal fans need to listen to that as well. We can't let him off finishing out at top 4 when the chance was there, when he's telling us that is what will define us as a success this season, making top 4. It just feels like sometimes in the name of positivity, we all want to say the right thing and do the right thing. But inevitably, it all comes back round and the negative ones are the most correct about the situation.
What about GRIZZ?
But do you not think there needs to be some accountability though? That's the thing, because come this summer he'll have been in the job for over 2.5 years. This will be his second full season. This implosion, I did not see this. I know you've had your 2 injuries, and of course, losing Thomas Partey is always going to affect you. It's the equivalent of us losing like a Bentancur now, you see how pivotal he is to us, even more so because Partey is way more integral to you than Bentancur's been to us. So I get the blow. Same for Tierney, but the implosion is absolutely scary. And this is off the back of 150 million spent in August. This is off the back of an 8th place finish last year. Yes, you're saying that there needs to be a wider sort of cultural reset at Arsenal, but that should not take away from a manager's remit. And the manager's remit is to make the team perform at a higher level than what most expect. And when I'm looking at this guy now, it's completely different to how I was looking at him a couple of weeks back when Arsenal were in good form and actually had a rhythm. Everyone gets injuries. Literally everyone gets injuries. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had tons of injuries at Man United, but we would never let it take away from the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not adequate enough for the role. Yeah. Nuno Espirito Santo had Harry Kane wanting to leave in the summer, had 2 other players wanting to leave, no Romero for a couple months, etc., etc., etc. It did not take away from the fact that he was not equipped for the job. So the point I'm making is, when is there going to be some accountability for Arteta? Because ultimately, Arsenal are not spending all this money to not move.
He should be sacked. But he should have been sacked November 2020.
Yeah, and that's the point I'm making. How many
last year after Villarreal?
Exactly.
He will continue.
Exactly, and that's the point I'm making. I'm saying what is the breaking point for this guy?
Toby, there is no breaking point.
Doesn't that highlight? Sorry, Matisse, one sec. But what you're saying, doesn't it highlight that this problem is deeper than Arteta, even more so? Because what you're saying and what we've just said and Matisse is saying is he should have been sacked already a couple of times because of the form or the way we went out in the Europa League, or even now, yeah? But what you're asking is, what's the standards or remit from above down? It looks like it's non-existent, which further leads to my point that, listen, I see even like a couple of people in the chat saying, oh, you know, you abused Wenger and you got him out of this club. The thing about Wenger is, I understood that a lot of the fan base was hanging off Wenger's coattails because he is a legend. I understood that. So we, in my opinion, needed to get rid of Wenger to expose the rotten core. Yeah, we got rid of Wenger, and all of a sudden now fans love Arteta. I didn't see that happening. I don't think all of a sudden Arteta's going to be the shining light in the, you know, that's going to come and take us into a new dawn. I didn't see this coming. I don't. We have to look at ourselves here as fans. I'm sorry, but Arteta's done. You know, he's won an FA Cup, but in terms of the protection he gets or the protection Edu gets, they've done nothing to warrant that protection. Neither have the players. I don't understand how people can fall in love with a player or a manager before they've even done something for the club.
I can't understand how a player of Arteta's stature, when in his career for Arsenal, is getting.
I'll be back
this
in 2
much.
seconds. Yeah, I'll be back in 2 seconds. You lot.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that a player of this, he's not a legend at Arsenal Football Club, is getting this much leeway. I said it earlier on when I was speaking to Turkish on AFTV. This guy has had no European football, and he's still now struggling to get over the line when he was in the driving seat. We talk about injuries. He's had 1 game a week. They were knocked out of the FA Cup third round. If you put Europe on top of this, which is what Arsenal are usually competing in, then there's not much difference in the league position, because West Ham are showing without depth that they're struggling with form after playing Thursday to Sunday or Thursday or whatever it is. So I don't really understand how this guy can finish outside the top 4 after being in the driving position. And Tottenham are the team that eclipse him, not Man United, Tottenham, and he's not sacked unless there really is just no standards anymore. But GRIZZ, listen, I want to ask you, bro, like what's going on with Arteta? Because are you still in the same position if he finishes 5th or 6th? It's all cool.
From people that have been watching the Big Six, and big up everyone that's been watching the Big Six for however long, right? For people who know that I'm not a flip-flop. So asking me a weekly question ain't gonna work. I'm not you. I'm just generally saying. My opinions aren't reactionary on a weekly basis. I've said from the start of the season that they finished 8th last season or wherever it was. I said their target, in my opinion, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to let it slip like Cam. Yeah? but my position from a non-Arsenal point of view, from a non-Arsenal fan, outsider, right, looking in, was they should be targeting top 6. That was my target from the start of the season. If they finish outside the top 6, as Cam says, uncomfortable questions. He needs to be sacked.
But should they have ever finished 8th in the first place, Grizz? I want to ask you that.
That's not my prerogative. That's not the conversation. That's not the. That's
No,
not
it is because if you're it is because you're because
you're telling me at the start of the season where should Arsenal finish?
Can I ask you something?
If they don't finish in the top 6, sack him. Sack him anyway.
Grizz, a manager has to make progress. Is 8th for last season, is that where they should have been in the first place? Is that not a massive underachievement?
No, but that's not Arteta. No, that's not Arteta's fault though. That was half season of Arteta and bullshit from the rest of the.
No, that was his first full season. That was his first full season.
Last season, bro.
That's his first full season.
I know, but what I'm saying is that's not Arteta's doing. Them finishing 8th, they've been finishing 6th or whatever. 8th.
How's it not?
How is it not his undoing to finish 8th in his first season?
You can't always finish. You can't always keep improving every single season. That's how football doesn't work like that. Otherwise, everyone will get to the top. So if you're building something, you've got to be building something. That's why I said. See him actually. Sorry, Grizz. If you can see him actually building something, then stick with him. Because I'm not being funny. If Arsenal sack him, you're literally back to square one. Because whoever comes in is going to look at them players, and he might not want to play Ramsdale in goal. He might not want to play Ben White next minute, and they haven't got the money to just scrape away that and start again. So I think they're caught between a rock and a hard place. And if you're asking my opinion, what I think's happened is they went on a great run, and they looked odds on to get in the top 4, and everyone was giving them hype and saying he's got a young team and they're clicking well, and they did. But this is, I keep saying, this is the business end of the season, and you look at the results, what's happening now, and that team has now coming up against resilient teams that need to fight and scrap, and there are a lot of young kids in there, and I don't think they've got quite the mix right. And I think if I'm an Arsenal man, he needs to bring some experience in that squad alongside them youngsters to get them through this period when they should be getting top 4. They should get that top 4. They was in the best position out of everyone to get that top 4. So for me, he's dropped the bag with it. But when I'm looking on the outside in, I'm thinking they are a young side. If you keep him, he's got to add experience signings and build the squad. It's not just a case of he's got to improve every single season, because it don't work like that. But if Arsenal sack him and the fans go mad and they get rid of him, you're literally taking another 10 steps backwards, starting exactly the same, hoping the new guy comes in.
I don't know. Hold on, I don't agree with this logic. Hold on. Pochettino
but what happens if the new guy comes in and outperforms him?
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's a risky take. But what I'm saying is,
you're looking at the worst. Yeah, but I'm saying you're looking at the worst case scenario. What about the best case scenario? Because when we've actually seen literally teams around Arsenal have done
whichever scenario is going to cost Arsenal Football Club hundreds of millions of pounds if they get rid of him.
It didn't cost Chelsea hundreds of millions last season.
Nobody will do now because the next manager's got to come in and scrape away all the shit.
No, they don't. Look, Arteta, what he's done very well.
If you build something right, someone can come take the reins and continue to build.
Yeah, but he's got to want to play that style of football. He's got to want to play that style with them, the goalkeeper passing out from the back and all that.
Most managers want to do that. Most progressive modern day managers want to do that. Arteta has cleansed the squad. He's got rid of the seniors, and now he's got
manager they get now to come in
now he's got talented young players that have potential. That is the perfect time to bring in a manager who knows what he's doing, that wants to play a good brand of football, to give them the experience to lead them. We talk about experience needed in the team. Experience is needed from the manager as well, how to get through these positions. We talk about the end of the season scrap. They haven't played a relegation team in any of these 3 matches. They played mid-table Crystal Palace, mid-table Brighton, and mid-table Southampton. 3 teams that are pretty much coasting in the Premier League, and they lost to all 3 of them, and some of those games convincingly. There is no excuse for that whatsoever, apart from just complete inexperience of how to deal with situations and how to make the right decisions. When you play Xhaka at left back, I suggested on this very show Saka at left back, and everybody went crazy.
Tottenham lost to Brighton and you lost to Brentford, so it's
but we're talking about Arteta and we're talking about Arsenal. We lost to Brentford. Steve, it's not comparable. We lost our first game in about 7 games to Brentford. It can happen. They've lost 3 on the bounce. Tottenham have lost their first game in 5. They've lost 3 on the bounce. These are not comparisons, Steve. And Conte has been there for less than a season. He's been there for 2.5. Please, this is not comparison, guys. It's really not.
I look. I said at the start of the season, the squad's, in my opinion, a top 6 squad. Minus that squad of Tierney, Partey. Now for the end of the season, I don't think they've got a chance for top 4. I'll openly say it again and again. It's Arteta's fault or not, I don't give a shit. I'm trying to give my opinion from looking from the outside. I got no dog in the fight. Right? It is what it is. I don't think that Arteta is good enough to take him to the next level. But if they want to sack him, by all means, sack him. I'm just giving my opinion with no allegiances. I haven't. Joking aside, I haven't. I'm trying to judge it on just watching football and watching the teams. Yeah. So if they want to sack him, that's fine. I can give you. But from experience from a club, you have to build slowly. Let each coach that comes in take it, do his bit.
I think you both have seen.
Do his bit until you find the right coach. I don't think they've got a right coach.
But you guys have both seen builds, but your teams have been built by some of the best managers on the planet. This is not one of the best managers on the planet. Who's to say he knows what he's even building? Who's to say he knows what he's building?
I employed
a rookie manager.
He has no experience. This is the equivalent of getting a construction worker to do his first job on a building site. He has no experience building anything, and you guys are telling me that he's 100% the guy to build this project.
No, we're not saying that. I'm just saying be careful what you wish for, because you're halfway down a process now, and if you believe in a process, you've got to see that process out. The Arsenal board, if they can see a vision what they want, no matter what we think, because we're not in the club, if they can see this vision that they're going to build, they're going to have to see it through. The reason they employed a rookie manager is because they saw something in him and they saw some direction where he was going. So if he's not going in the right direction, they'll sack him. I get that. But what I'm saying is, if you sack him now and then you go and get somebody else, you could be in exactly the same position, if not worse, next season. And where does it end? So it's a 50-50 for me. I don't care if they sack him. It doesn't matter to me one bit if they sack Arteta. All I'm trying to say is, they employed a rookie manager for a reason. If you can see progression, keep him. If you don't, get rid of him. But be careful what you wish for, because you could be in a worse state than what you was before if you bring someone else in.
They could also be in a better state. They could also be in a better state. It's relative. The same way you say be careful what you wish for, they could easily be in a better state. You look at teams like Newcastle, us, West Ham a couple seasons ago under David Moyes. I'm trying to remember.
They got rid of Moyes. West Ham right now are in a semi-final of Europa League.
Yeah, because they got rid of Moyes and brought him back.
Yeah, because he was there temporarily.
My thing is that if Arsenal were in the top 4,
they went and got Pellegrini and wasted the time. Yeah. And then they had to come back and get Moyes back. Prime example.
David Moyes is a very underrated manager.
Yeah, but you say prime example, but isn't that also a prime example of a club setting off in a direction that they felt was right, seeing that it didn't work and changing it? Is that not?
Yeah, of course it is. But how do you know that this is not the direction they're trying to go to? They've employed a rookie manager.
Steve,
you're not going to expect Mikel Arteta to get in the top 4 in his first 2 seasons at Arsenal. A man that's never done anything.
So then what's he doing there then? What is he doing there?
Another manager could do it, Steve. If you gave another top manager 2.5 years and you say, I want you to get into the top 4 of Arsenal, Man United are going to be absolutely shit this season and Tottenham are going to be going for a madness because they decide to hire Nuno instead of Conte in the first place. And we're going to give you all of this money, because we don't speak about how much money Arsenal spend. We're going to give you 2.5 years. I guarantee you someone could have taken Arsenal from 8th in the first half of the season to 6th and to 4th. That's progression. And managers I've just named in terms of Pochettino and many others that have actually shown progression, your managers that sit at your 2 clubs as well, when they first came in, they've shown progression. Each season they've gone up. And for me, when you finish 8th, and then now you have an opportunity to finish in 4th, you take the opportunity and you overachieve. Your managers have literally overachieved. Pep getting 100 points is an overachievement. Klopp doing what he's done is an overachievement. You can't just say, oh, this is what Arteta is expected to do, and if he always does what he's expected to do, then Arsenal are never going to be expected.
You're missing the fucking point. It's not Championship fucking manager. They've employed a rookie. Do you expect the rookie to come in Arsenal straight away and take him in the top 4? They didn't expect that. They didn't expect that. They didn't expect that. He won the FA Cup.
He's going to get 5 years. He's going to get 5
He's
years
won
to
the
get
FA Cup. He's building his team. Like you can see, he's building his team. What I'm saying is, Arsenal maybe instead of going down the reactionary route, which you want to go down and sack managers and replace them every single season, and now keeping a rookie manager that they put the faith in. They put the faith in.
I've been saying he should have gone for a year. It's not reactionary. He is out of Europe, and let me ask you this, Steve: when he gets Europa League football, if he finishes outside of the top 4, and then he's got 2 games a week to contend with, how is he going to get into the top 4? Please, anybody explain to me, with Ten Hag coming into the league and Conte having a full first season, someone explain to me on this panel how Arteta, with 2 games a week, can manage this team and get them into the top 4 with better managers, 5 better managers than him in the league.
Listen, that top 4, anyone can get in the top 4. You've seen it. West Ham.
You're right. You're right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Steve,
which is why he could be the guy to do it.
Exactly right. Anyone can get in it, and they've employed him to try and target it this year, and he looks like he's not going to get it. And the point, I think the overarching point that I think we're asking here, Steve, is fair enough. You say, cool, they keep him. But what I'm asking is, how long is too long? When can you actually say, wow, okay, cool.
Down to the board. They've employed the rookie. Are they going to give a rookie 18 months, or are they going to give a rookie 2 or 3 years?
Steve, you keep saying that's down to the board, but Turkish has just literally listed why the board are incompetent.
Well, I'll tell you something. Arsenal will sack him, yeah, and they won't improve it again. You'll be back to square fucking one, and we'll be having the same conversation for the next 2 or 3 seasons because Arsenal will just keep sacking, changing. Some of them Arsenal fans out there that are talking absolute nonsense, saying, "Get rid of him. We're going to get Thingy. Going to get." No, who the fuck wants to go to Arsenal now? Who the fuck wants to go to Arsenal now? Tell me. Which top manager in world football wants to go to Arsenal right now?
There's absolutely many.
By the way, I agree. They could go to
loads of managers that will go to
Arsenal. You could have got Conte last summer.
Ten Hag is going to Man United.
Yeah, but Steve, I just want to put a caveat on Steve's point. If they do go to shit, it's because they've hired a shit manager. If they hire a proper manager, they're not going to just fall, in my opinion. It's only if they employ a shit manager.
They don't hire the right guy, though. Like Kroenke won't get his money out. They don't want to know. They're just happy with what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter to me if they sack Arteta, keep Arteta. I'm giving you my opinion. Outside looking in, it looks a mess. So I can see if you're employing a manager of Arteta's stature, for me, they're thinking long term, right? So he wins an FA Cup, and then all of a sudden they think he's struggling, and then they're still in this like Wenger days where they think they should be challenging for the title, but you're not going to challenge for the title with that team and that manager. So I don't know what he's trying to build there. So that's all I'm saying. If you get rid of him now, who are you going to get in? It's all right saying you could have got Conte, but you let it slip because Spurs have got Conte.
So what you're saying is correct. Yeah, you can't expect titles and challenging from a rookie manager. But Steve, you have to understand. We didn't fucking ask for a rookie manager, my guy.
I know that. But what I'm saying is your board went down that route. So what I'm saying is they must think in their head that he's going to come good. If they sack him now, then what the hell is the point? Why did you employ him in the first place? You know,
when you make mistakes, you have to own your mistake and just quickly wrap it up and move on. If you make a mistake, Steve, and it was just saying you make a mistake in life, you don't just keep prodding along with the mistake in the hope that it's going to come good. You say, okay, I took it out, and you're going to fix it.
Football where managers have made mistakes and they've been kept on and given time. Alex Ferguson, a prime example, yeah. He should have been sacked against that Forest game.
But he had a pedigree. He had a pedigree. Right,
that was a one-off. That was a one-off. Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. He didn't have the greatest couple of seasons when he first came.
Again, pedigree at Dortmund.
He kept with
Arteta had nothing. He didn't have anything.
Arteta, they brought a rookie manager in, and if you're not going to give him time, why employ him? You might as well give it to someone with a bit of experience. This is what my point is.
My problem is above. That's my whole point. So. Anytime I talk about the managers, I know Arteta's, he ain't good enough. At point this season, he's done well, and I gave him credit because he put us in the race for top 4. And like GRIZZ likes to remind us, none of us put us in the top 6 with our predictions this season. So I can understand that, but at the same time, do I think 8th to 6th is progress when goals scored and goals conceded is poorer than year on last? I don't. I look at that more so as an indicator, but some people look at position and some people look at aura and culture and atmosphere. I'm just sick to death of talking about the same shit every fucking few months about the same sort of problems stemming from the same people, and in reality, it's going to continue happening.
If he had won trophies before he got to Arsenal and he had a CV, I would be a lot calmer because I'd be like, okay, he's actually proven his credentials. But
yeah, that's the point.
Ferguson at Aberdeen and Klopp at Dortmund, the managers that you guys are bringing up, they've actually shown what they can do. That's all I'll say.
Look at
GRIZZ.
That's all you're gonna say, Mum. That's all you're gonna say.
Bro, listen. I've been speaking about this point for a while, and when you went for a little run, you were like, anybody chatting about Arteta? Any noise? Listen, we're back.
Listen, let's get the predictions done for the match as well. Chelsea, Arsenal, Matisse, start with you. You're the home team.
Chelsea. Yeah, 2-0 Chelsea.
I was watching you so carefully.
What? No, I've already predicted this, bro. I've already predicted. I was just trying to remember what I predicted. Fam, if we lose, I'm gonna be mad embarrassed if we lose at home to this lot again. Seriously.
I've said 3-1 Chelsea. Steve?
Who did he play in Arsenal?
Yeah.
1-0 Chelsea.
1-0. Saeed's gone for 3-1 as well. GRIZZ?
2-1. Nah. 3-0 Chelsea.
Come on, GRIZZ, man. Just do it one
3-1 Chelsea.
3-1, yeah?
Yeah.
TOBS?
2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. Listen, we're an hour 49 minutes in. If you ask me, I'm not about to grill Tottenham from where we are at this moment in time. So fuck talking about Tottenham. Tob, do you mind? Do you mind? You don't mind? All good.
He's delighted.
All good. People, hope you guys have enjoyed. It's nearly a 2-hour show. 5K still watching live.
And we got a Spurs prediction. Are they playing?
Who?
Nah.
No. This is just the rescheduled fixtures.
Okay.
Hit the like button, people. That's the first thing you got to do before you leave. And make sure you subscribe to Steve, GRIZZ, TOBS, Matisse, Cams, and Thuggery.
Where's the table at?
Oh, yeah. I'll bring that out next. All channel links in the description below, as well as the official Big Six channel. I haven't checked if we're on 13K yet, but in about 20 minutes, I'm going to check. If we're on 13K, then I'll get the centre mids, Premier League, top 6. I'll get that sorted for the next week. By the end of the week, you guys will have it. And GRIZZ reminded me the table. Here it is last week before the fixtures. GRIZZ got 2 points and the rest of us got 1. So GRIZZ has closed the gap at the bottom there to 2. Oh, yeah. For the people listening on Apple and Spotify, Matisse remains top with 123 points. Saeed and Steve in second, 122. TOBS third, 120. I'm behind TOBS, 120, but less correct scores. And GRIZZ is bottom on 118. But still only 5 points separating all of us. People, show the sponsors some love as well. Make sure if you're buying the basics, you go through FM London. You go through the links in the description and the links I post on the social medias. And they'll know you're coming through us. We'll be back Thursday at 9:30, people. 9:30, remember, half an hour later than usual. Love for the love, people. Tune in then. Peace.
Zidane for Arsenal.